Hi there. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Fred Macedo and I'm here with my friends Ruben, Roseli, and Rosangela for another Gospel at Home. Before, I'm going to ask Rosangela to make our initial prayer. Please, Rosangela.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
Thank you. Now I'm going to share my screen. The selected theme is the Gospel according to Spiritism, chapter 7, the Spirit's teaching, pride and humility. May the peace of the Lord be with you, my dear friends. I have come to encourage you to follow the path of the good. To the humble spirits who formerly used to inhabit the earth, God has given the mission to come and enlighten you. Blessed be God for the grace given to us of being able to help you with your advancement. May the Holy Spirit illuminate me, help me render my word understandable, and grant me the favor of setting it within the reach of all. All of you who are incarnate, who are suffering and searching for the light, may the will of God help me to make it shine on your eyes. Humility is a much neglected virtue among you. The great examples that have been given you are followed very seldom. However, without humility, can you be charitable toward your neighbor? Oh no, because this sentiment puts men and women on the same level. It tells them that they are brothers and sisters and that they must mutually help one another, and it leads them to the good. Without humility, you adorn yourselves with virtues you do not possess, as if wearing clothes to hide the deformities of your body. Remember the one who saved us. Remember his humility, which made him so great and placed him above all the prophets. Pride is the terrible adversary of humility. If Christ promised the kingdom of heaven to those who were poorest, it was because the mighty of the earth imagine the titles and riches are rewards given for their merit, and their essence is purer than the poor. They believe that these are owned to them, and that is why they accuse God of injustice whenever he takes them away. Of such mockery and blindness. Does God make distinctions among you because of your bodies? Isn't the envelope of the poor the same of the rich? Did the Creator make two types of men, of human beings? Everything that God does is great and wise. Never attribute to Him the ideas that are conceived in your proud minds. O you rich, while you sleep under golden roofs and sheltered from the cold, do you know that thousands of your brothers and sisters who are just like you are sleeping on straw? Are not wretches suffering from hunger your equals? These words are revolting to your pride, you know full well. You may agree to give them alms, but to fraternally shake hands with them, never. What? You say. I, a descendant of noble blood, of the great ones of the earth equal to those wretches in rags? A vain utopia of the so called philosophers. If we were equal, why would God have set them so low and me so high? It is true that your garments are scarcely the same. However, undress both of you. And what difference would there be between you? The nobility of blood, you say. But chemistry has not found any difference between the blood of noblemen and that of commoner, or between that of the master and that of the slave. Who says that you yourself were not also impoverished and unfortunate like them? That you did not beg for alms? That sometime will not beg for those whom you despise today? Are riches eternal? Do they not end with your body, the perishable envelope of the spirit? Oh, apply some humility to yourself. Ultimately, set your eyes upon the reality of the things of the world, upon, upon what makes for greatness or humiliation in the next. Remember that death will not spare you any more than anyone else, that titles will not save you from it, that it can strike you tomorrow, today, in an hour. And if you shroud yourself in your pride, oh, then I feel sorry for you because you are worthy of pity. You proud. What were you before you were noble and powerful? Perhaps you were lower than the least of your servants. Therefore, bow your haughty brows, which God can bring down at the moment in which you raise yourself the highest. All people are equal on the divine scales, and only their virtues distinguish them from one another in God's eye. All spirits are one and the same essence, and all bodies are made of the same substance. Your titles and your names do not change them in any way. They remain in the grave, and they do not give you the bliss promised to the elect. Charity and humility are their titles of nobility. Poor creature, you are a mother, your children are suffering, they are cold and hungry, bent under the weight of your cross. You go and humiliate yourself so that they might have a piece of bread. Oh, I bow down before you. How nobly, holy, and great you are in my eyes. Hope and pray. Happiness is not yet of this world. To the poor and oppressed who trust in him, God gives the kingdom of heavens. And you, young maiden, poor child, given to work and privation, why such sad thoughts? Why do you weep? Lift up your gaze, pious and serene to God, who provides food to the little birds. Trust in Him, and He will not abandon you. The noise of parties, the pleasures of the world make your heart beat fast. You would like to adorn your head with flowers and mingle with the wealthy of the earth. You say to yourself that, like these women who pass you by, frivolous and laughing, you too could be rich. Oh, but still, child, if you knew how many tears and nameless sorrows are hidden beneath those embroidered dresses, how many sobs are muffled under the noise of the joyous orchestra, you would prefer your humble quarters and your poverty. Keep yourself pure in God's eye if you do not want your guardian angel to return to Him. hiding its face with its white wings and leave you to your remorse, without guide, without support, in this world where you'll be lost, waiting to be punished in the next. And all you who endure human injustice, be indulgent with the faults of your brothers and sisters, by remember that you yourselves are not exempt from reproach. To do so is charity, but is also humility. If you suffer slander, bow your head under the trial. What does the world's slander matter to you? If your conduct is pure, cannot God compensate you? To courageously bear humiliation from others is to be humble and to recognize that only God is great and powerful. Oh, dear God, must Christ come a second time to earth to teach people your laws, which they have forgotten? Will we once more have to expel the merchants from the temple as they defile your house, which is only a place of prayer? And who knows? All mankind, humankind, if you if God were to grant you such a grace, perhaps you would reject it as before. You would call to him a blasphemer, for he would humiliate the pride of modern day Pharisees. Perhaps you would make him take up the road of Golgotha once again. Left to themselves when Moses went up to Mount Sinai to receive God's commandments, the people of Israel forsook the one true God. Men and women gave their gold and jewels to men to make an idol to worship. You civilized men and women, you do the same. Christ left you his doctrine, and he provided you with an example of all his virtues. And you have forsaken his examples and precepts. With your passion, you have all made a God to your own liking. According to some, terrifying and bloodthirsty. According to others, uncaring about the concerns of the world. The God you have made is the same golden calf, which each of you adapts to his of her own tastes and ideas. Wake up, my brothers and sisters, my friends. May the voice of the spirits touch your hearts. Be generous and charitable without ostentation. That is, do the good with humility. Let each of you tear down, little by little, the altars you have erected to pride. In a word, be true Christians, and you have the kingdom of truth. No longer doubt God's goodness when He gives you so many proofs of it. We have come to prepare the way for the fulfillment of the prophecies. When the Lord's come to give you a more resounding manifestation of the clemency, may the heavenly message find you as one great family. May your gentle and humble hearts be worthy of hearing the divine word that He will bring you. May the chosen one find on his path only the palm branches laid there by your return to goodness, charity, and fraternity. Then you would become a terrestrial paradise. But if you remain insensitive to the voice of spirits sent to purify and renew your civilized society, so rich is knowledge and yet so poor in good sentiments. Alas, nothing will remain for us but to weep and groan about your fate. But no, it will not be that way. Return to God your Father, and then all of us who have served for the fulfillment of his will shall sing the canticle of thanksgiving to thank the Lord for his unbounded goodness and glorify him forever and ever. So be it. Lacordaire. Just a moment. So what we can say about this part, charity and pride, um, selfishness, all the things that we we are surrounded. If we look at ourselves, we will acknowledge that we have a great deal of imperfections. So we cannot make it right overnight, but we can try harder to be charitable at home, at work, try to um, feel the sorrow, the doubts of the others, because we are here to make it work to everyone. But we can start ourselves, giving an example of for trying harder, because the others we will see that we are we are given a try, and then he or her will think, if he can make it, and uh, and she can make it, I can make it too. So I think that is the message. We have to try harder to be better, to be charitable at home, at work, with the strangers we encounter in the way, when we forgive an offense, when we pretend not to hear um, a mockery, and so on. I will thank you all, and I'm going to ask Rosangela to make our final prayer. Thank you.
We thank the good spirits who have come to communicate with us and ask them to help us put into practice the instruction they have given us. We also hope they will ensure that each is wonderful as at the end of the session is fortified in the practice of good and love for our neighbor. We also wish these lessons may be useful for the suffering ignorance or visions spirits who were able to attend this meeting and for whom we implore the mercy of God.
Thank you all.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you
Good
very much.
evening, my brothers.
Good evening.